Morning, it's Todd Miller here. It is Friday, November 6th. I'm here with Oana Sterlacci. Oana, thanks for letting me ask you a bunch of questions.
You're welcome.
Oana is a Fannie Mae direct broker, which means Fannie Mae gives her properties, she services them, she gets them in condition to go, she picks a value, she coordinates with the asset management company, which is Fannie Mae. They give her the listing, and then she sells the house. So she's in charge of the biggest thing, and she's in charge of getting the offers to Fannie Mae, negotiating back and forth with the agent. So I wanted to ask her some specific questions about, how Fannie Mae works and what people can do to help, make their offers a little more attractive.
Well, Fannie Mae is a unique seller because Fannie Mae has a different goal than most sellers do. Most sellers care about getting the most money for a house. Fannie Mae wants that too, but the other thing that they want to do is they want to turn over a house in good condition. So if you're purchasing a Fannie Mae property, then you're very fortunate because chances are that property has been painted, has been carpeted, it may even have new appliances. The offers that you make on a Fannie Mae property need to be clean offers just like any other bank-owned property. That means please don't ask for anything in the way of repairs or that sort of thing.
So clean, like give me an example. What things, how should they just write it up?
Okay, they should write an offer where they're asking Fannie Mae to pay one lump sum if they need the money for closing costs. They should not ask for specific things because Fannie Mae cannot pay specific things. For example, Fannie Mae cannot pay real property transfer tax.
Okay.
Fannie Mae cannot pay escrow fees. There are a lot of different fees that Fannie Mae cannot pay. However, Fannie Mae can pay a certain amount of money toward closing costs for the benefit of the buyer.
Okay, good. So they should just pick a price, pick an amount they want in contributions, and put everything on the buyer side. The home warranty, the taxes, the title fees, the escrow fees, everything.
That is what's best. When a buyer doesn't do that, then we need to go ahead and counter back and move everything back onto the buyer side.
Okay.
So that lengthens the process. It also weakens your offer because now I'm in a position of having to assign values for the things that you want the seller to pay. So if you want the seller to pay for appraisal, I have to assign a value for that rather than you telling me we just need $350 in closing costs, which is what would cover an appraisal.
Okay, so what you're doing is you're sort of maybe overestimating because you want to be safe, and it may make their offer look worse than if they just say, look, just give me $3,000 total and plus the purchase price.
Exactly.
Now, one of the complaints I've heard is that people who have buyers, I mean people that are going to live in the house,
right,
are getting pushed out by investors who have cash, and they're getting frustrated with that. Tell me, I understand Fannie Mae sort of has a different philosophy with that.
Absolutely. Like I said, Fannie Mae is a different kind of seller. They want to turn over good property, and their buyer of choice is an owner-occupant. They've taken steps to help that happen by not allowing investors to make offers on the property for the first 15 days that property is listed. That means that if you are an owner-occupant, you will not be competing with investors for the first 15 days that property is listed.
Okay, good. So, perfect. So, so what happens on day 15 if they get an investor offer for cash and an owner-occupant? Like this, 15 days have passed and they get two offers. One's cash for $100,000, one's FHA $100,000. At that point, do they go? They say, well, they're both $100,000. We'll take the cash one because we know it's going to close, or do they go, well, they're $100,000, but this was an owner-occupant. We'll take that because we like owner-occupants.
Fannie Mae generally likes owner-occupants better than
Okay.
investors. However, there are other variables in there.
Okay.
One of the variables may be the condition of the property. So maybe if the condition of the property warrants an investor versus an FHA because of maybe it's an older roof and maybe we're uncomfortable with that. The roof isn't leaking or anything, but it's an older roof, so there may be a concern with that. So it really depends on the particular property. It also depends on what the goal with that property is. It may be that that property has been in inventory for a long time and that property needs to be moved out of the inventory. An FHA loan will take 45 to 60 days to close, while a cash offer will close in about 21 days, and that may be a factor in which offer is accepted. There are a lot of variables at that point.
Okay. Now I keep seeing this HomePath financing on the Fannie Mae's. How am I at an advantage if I write an offer and I'm going to move forward with HomePath financing versus regular financing?
HomePath financing is a great product, both for owner-occupants and for investors.
Okay.
The reason it's a great product is because, like I said, Fannie Mae, there are certain fees that Fannie Mae can't pay. But if you use HomePath financing, some of those fees are actually waived or reduced, so that helps a lot. So as an owner-occupant, that helps reduce the fees so that the seller contribution that you get is actually going to go toward more of your closing costs. You'll have to come up with less cash out of pocket. Do
you think if you had two offers that Fannie Mae was looking at, one was in $100,000 FHA, $3,000 in closing costs with ABC banana mortgage, and then you had another offer over here that was exact same terms and conditions. The only difference was they had a HomePath financing pre-approval. Do you think that would make a difference in which one got accepted?
You know, that's very possible. That's very possible. It all depends on a lot of different things, but I would certainly think that HomePath financing would be more attractive to Fannie Mae for a lot of reasons. One of them is because they track those numbers.
Okay.
So I think that in order to encourage people to use it, they might find that more attractive.
What's the biggest mistake you see from agents in writing their offers or anything involved with the process of making an offer or purchase or closing on a Fannie Mae property?
Probably the number one thing that I see is not understanding the fees that Fannie Mae can and cannot pay. And also keeping in mind that list price is just the beginning.
Okay, good.
So that doesn't mean that this is the top dollar for the property. It means this is an invitation to make an offer. In our marketplace, we are getting a lot of offers over list price.
Right. Is there any secret thing or magical thing about Fannie Mae that you want everybody to know that they may not be aware of?
Fannie Mae turns out great properties. Like I said, a lot of them have had a lot of work done. They've had new appliances, new hot water heater, paint, carpet. So they are, generally speaking, a better product than I'm aware of any other institutional seller out there, because everyone else makes repairs based on financing needs. Fannie Mae is going above and beyond that and making repairs to turn over a product that people will want to stay in and make it into a home, much more turnkey product than other institutional sellers.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, that's it for this interview. I'll be back tomorrow with another video, and thanks for tuning in.